Good morning, Scott here, known as Cantaloupe to some online, and I'm bringing a video to you on a subject that's interesting to me. It might be of interest to you or someone you know. And I want to talk about pronouns. I have briefly covered pronouns in a previous video, and I want to mention something that I have not mentioned before. That is the idea that pronouns are subject to preference. Okay, no, they are, in the sense that you're allowed to use whatever words you like. Indeed, people have local dialects, regional dialects. They speak different languages. They make up their own meanings. They have intended meanings that may not be consistent with the common meaning. And this is all allowed. This is all perfectly fine. No complaints, no debates. However, as far as legal pronouns go, here's the thing. This is where it gets sticky because in terms of legality, if you're talking about what is on your driver's license, for example, or your birth certificate, these things are issued to you by an authority. You don't usually design or print your own birth certificate. It comes from, the hospital or some central printing place. And here's where it gets very interesting. So just like you get issued a license plate number on your vehicle from, in fact, the same people who issue your driver's license with the pronoun on it, usually, there is an option to customize it if you like. I think that this is an interesting subject. I think it's an interesting idea that you could, if you wanted to, pay for a vanity pronoun, just like you would pay for a vanity license plate. Why not? Well, let's examine this for a second. Let's examine this. So if you're buying a pronoun and you have a custom pronoun that you like to use, it fits your person, it fits, the behavior that you like, and you pay for it, it's subject to change, isn't it? So here's the problem, right? It's not accurate. It's not reflective of any kind of truth. It has become a changeable commodity, something that is subject to interpretation, doesn't really mean much except that you bought it as a vanity. I understand. I want to be fair about this. I understand that sometimes people are born in the wrong bodies. I do understand the idea that somebody may even have, multiple sets of genitals, and it's not clear. It's not always clear, and it shouldn't be for other people necessarily to decide, but it is up to them to choose their own words. Here's where it gets interesting. It's up to everyone, including people who are not you, in regards to your pronouns, to choose what words they use to describe you. The words that they were taught growing up that mean male or female or whatever, versus your own language. So back to the subject of vanity pronouns. Consider you buy a pronoun, just the idea. And the one you bought means something. Say it's male, female, whatever. He, she. And then it gets changed on you. You're like, well, wait a minute. I bought he, and now it's a she all of a sudden. Would you feel bad about that? I would. You probably should. It's like, you bought a Toyota and turns out it's a Nissan or something like that. And you didn't sign up for a change. You didn't sign up for it to suddenly mean something different. Why is this relevant? How is this relevant? Why does it mean anything? Because if pronouns are as whimsical as completely up to personal preference and they have no objective meaning whatsoever, then it becomes a lie. That's the thing. It becomes improper. It's improper because if you can just change it willy-nilly, it becomes not just an opportunity for abuse and exploitation, but it's designed from the ground up to be a lie, to be dishonest. And I think if we're being honest on the subject of honesty, there is a very large political movement underway right now aimed at influencing and empowering the trans community. It's aimed at gaining traction and protection for these people who have been historically abused. And I will grant that. Absolutely, they have been abused. But who hasn't, to be honest? I mean, I'm not saying that it's a contest, but to say that all of a sudden one class of people, that is those who identify as alternative sexuality, are protected, whereas everyone else is not, you have a problem right there because you're using inclusivity as an exclusive membership. It's a contradiction. So I don't want to do a deep dive into all of the problems with the current politics surrounding transgender and trans politics, but it has become very political and exclusive. And I think that there's an opportunity here. My point in this video is to show that if you can choose your pronoun and choose what it means willy-nilly, regardless of what it objectively means in a conventional sense, then it becomes a lie. Just like you wouldn't want to buy a car and suddenly have it swapped out for something else. You're counting on some consistency. It's supposed to have a meaning, something that people can count on and understand without it being pulled out from under them willy-nilly. You wouldn't appreciate that yourself. Just saying. Reach out with questions or comments to whitehotrobot@gmail.com. Thank you.